You know, people keep asking about the story of Miracle. Well, this is Miracle. Uh, Miracle has a story of its own, and it's actually how she received her name, Miracle. Ellie gave her that name when he heard the story, and it was a miracle that she survived. It's a miracle that she made it through that first day or two down there in those woods alone. We have coyotes back there. We have now and then a big cat comes through, and now and then an old lone wolf dragged by. I had a fella from up north used to be a wolf hunter doing some work here on the place once, 3 or 4 years ago, 5, whatever. Anyway, he said he was down there doing some work, and he looked up and there was this big wolf standing at the back of his truck. He jumps in his truck, and he said this wolf, a big red wolf, walked all the way around his truck, and a little bit later here comes the second one. And he said he was just sitting in his truck, and they walked around his truck before they finally went off into the woods. Sometime later, Lester and I was out by the barn. Lester said, "Dad, look," and we looked, and there was one down here by the pond, up on the bank looking down, and we looked down at the bottom of that pond, and it was Dustin down there with a minnow trap, and that wolf had walked up behind him and was watching him. So anyway, now and then one does come by. And then Daniel saw one on his deer leash down here a couple of miles away here a year or two ago. Anyway, so you know, those things are in the woods, and a lot of coyotes, hear them all the time. Well, Miracle's story goes like this, and her mom was not a big cow. Looked like Miracle. Same color, same markings. And she was bred to Billy. And I knew she was getting close to having a calf, so I was watching her pretty close. And I went down one afternoon, check on her. Or one morning, actually, I think it was, and I couldn't find her. Well, you know, cows will go off by themselves. A lot of animals will when they're going to have a baby. They try to be alone. It's kind of a private time, and that's not unusual. Wasn't with the herd. So I kind of made the rounds. Never did see her. I said, "Well, man, she's hid good." And they come on back home. I said, "I'll go back later." I went back right before dark and couldn't find her again. And then that time I searched that thing really diligently, and I still couldn't find it. Oh man, there's something going on here. So the next morning, or the next day, I went down and I start searching, and I find where she had gotten out. There's a tree had blown down in a little storm we'd had on the fence, and she had went out. I found her tracks, so I tracked her, and I found her, and she had Miracle. I could tell she had the baby, but during the process, she had what's called prolapse. It's where the female parts, sometimes because of a big calf, the parts came out that shouldn't have come out. Now, if you find them in time, and I'm not going to be graphic, if you find them in time and they're able, you can take them to a vet, and they can sometimes put it all back in. And I've done it myself a couple of times on leases where you didn't have access to load the cow up, just have to do it yourself, and it'll work. You don't want to breed them again, because then they have a tendency to do the same thing again. But in her case, Miracle's mom's case, she had passed away from loss of blood, and but the calf wasn't there. So the first thing come to my mind is, you know, a big cat or wolf, coyotes come along and snatch that calf, because a baby calf is not going to leave its mama. And I knew she didn't have it somewhere else, because I could see all the signs of where the calf was born. So I began a search. And I searched, and it was thick woods, but I searched, I mean, every little clump of grass I was looking in. And I made a big, working my way out to probably at least 100 yards circle around that where she was at. No calf. Basically, you might say I give up. I called down, he come down, we searched it. He was mowing in the area. And I went over and got him, said, come up and look. I said, I can't find a calf. We searched those woods. Well, we figured it's gone. I come on home. Well, when Dan was coming out of the woods on his tractor, sitting up high, drove by this brush pile, and he happened to look down, little white faces looking up at him. And he stopped, he said, Dad, he called me on the cell phone, Dad, I found the calf. And I'm thinking he probably found the remains of the calf. And I said, I'll be right there. I drive down, there it is. I dig it out of that brush pile, put it up here in my lap, on this side by side, it's my little mule here, and drove home with it. And it was dark, almost dark. Too late to go to Tractor Supply. It was dark, actually. Tractor Supply had already closed. Time I got home, we got her all situated. Nowhere to get no, powdered milk or anything like that for the colostrum substitute or anything. They were all closed. So I did what my old dad used to do on cases like this. He would mix warm water or warm milk if he had it. I don't think we had no milk that night, except for skim milk. But warm water and sugar and honey, and bust a raw egg or two in it. Shake it all up, stir it all up, and give it to them. If nothing else, it gives them energy. It gives them strength. And she needed that. This little thing was so weak. Because she'd probably been there, a couple of days, or at least a day and a half or so, with nothing to drink or nothing. So her little tummy was empty. Her little system was probably about to shut down. So I took that bottle out there and I stood over her head between my legs, and I kind of like you're gonna be riding a wild bull or something, but she was short so I could stand over her. And I took her little head, bit it back up to me, took that bottle, put that nipple in her mouth, and folks, she sucked that bottle down in seconds. And several people standing there said, you gonna give her another one? I said, no, we're not gonna overload her. Just let her do its work tonight. I said, I'll be at Tractor Supply first thing tomorrow morning and get everything we need. But I knew she would suck. She was so happy. L.E. come over, told him what had happened, how it happened. He said, that's a miracle, Papa. He said, you ought to name her Miracle. I said, well, that's a great name, son. That's what we're going to call her. So she become Miracle. And she was my little orphan. And for a while, she was the only orphan I had. And the problem with her today, she likes to butt and play. And it's my fault. Because when she was little, I'd butt with her and play with her and push her and everything else, and she'd chase me. And now she's big, I don't want her to catch me. She's too rough. Oh, she'll butt you sometimes. It just jars my knees. So anyway, she's a sweetheart. She's an angel. And my next story about this would be with her friend, her best friend, I guess you'd call it, her best friend, Ivan. Now she has another friend too that she's pretty well comfortable with, and actually was with at the beginning. And that's Little Mocha, and I'll tell her story too at a different time. So I'm gonna try to give these stories one at a time on some of these animals that people keep asking about or keep saying. So what's her story? What's that one's story? And they're not long stories. They're, 10 or 12 minute videos maybe. But she's a pretty neat little guy. But there's some funny things I'll tell you about her when we're talking about her. She don't hang with the cows. Look here. No, he's not a cow. Oh, I hear thunder. Praise God. Maybe it's coming this way. Ooh, I hope so. We need the rain. She don't hang out with the cows, guys. She does not hang out with the cows. Never has. And I guess it's because she was raised separate from the cows. She's comfortable with goats. She was raised in the goat pens with the goats. So she's very comfortable with them. And they're all like, I guess you might say, friends. The only problem with that, and there is a problem, is she's clumsy. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm saying when she gets excited or something, wants to run and eat, or she doesn't pay attention to who's in front of her, she'll run over them. Now, not on purpose to hurt them, but she just runs over them. She'll run over me. Now, she don't run over this guy. This is the only guy here that can keep her straight. And he does a good job at it. That's her best friend, besides Smokey. So we'll be talking about those other two. He's got to go check on her right now. He got to go check on her. Ivan, today, is being a good boy. Yesterday, he was a pain in the butt. Picking on everybody out here. Picking. And I had to get on to him. You can tell I hurt his feelings. Anyway, I'm gonna be closing this down. We got a nice cloud. I wish that's the only cloud up there. I don't know if it's coming this way or what, but I hope it comes away and drops some rain. We need it. And I want to finish this up about Miracle. Well, I'm not really sure she's about 2 years old. I'd have to go back and look at when I actually started videoing with her and stuff. I think Lester and Jamie probably made the first video of her when she was just a baby, and that was before I ever started doing the video stuff. But anyway, she's a sweet girl. I think, I may be wrong, I think she's probably bred to Moses now. I may be wrong, but I think she is. I didn't see it, but I do know he herded her around back here for a day or two. That's usually a sign it's about to happen. When all of a sudden he's attracted to her. You know how guys are. You know how they are. Howdy. Are you ready to go, baby? All right, you got to straighten them ears, baby. You cannot hop up and look like you got to. Ladies make sure their hair's done. They make sure everything's right. You hop up with one ear back and one ear flopped over. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Get up here. Oh. You got a big butt, baby girl. All right, folks. I'm going to cut this off. Get this out to you. I hope you enjoy it. You'll know the story of Miracle. And I'll talk to you guys later. Ivan, you want to say anything? Ivan, you want to say something? Normally, he's got something to say. It may be a kind of a smart remark, but he'll have something. I'm hoping that rain comes this way. I hate to get off track, but you hear that? Woo! Praise the Lord. Hope it comes this way. All right. You guys take care and have a great day. You want to say something, Hattie? Anything? You're my girl. You are my girl, Hattie.